My father, James Stutzman, who was lockmaster at Lock 37 until it was decommissioned in 1962 with the building and the opening of Markland Dam. That's the Kentucky shore. There's another picture of Charlie Hempling's farm in Kentucky with a boat with 2 loads proceeding upriver. There is 2 tows waiting to be locked through. The first one is an Ashland oil tow, either the Aetna Louisville or the Allied Ashland. This is a view of raising the wickets. The river has fallen where it is necessary to put the dam up. A wicket is approximately 3 feet wide and 14 feet long. Each wicket has to be caught, pulled up, set, and then flipped into position, like that one there. That is the steamer Monongahela being towed back to Pittsburgh after making its last trip. It was one of the last steamboats. This is the Arco. Another coal tow down the river. This is one of J.T. Hatfield's coal tows going down the river. That is the E.D. Kenna. These were taken in front of our house. This is one of Mississippi Valley's steam prop towboats. There was 3 of these built, Ohio, Indiana, and Louisiana. This is the Herbert E. Jones from the front of the house. This is a panoramic view of Lock 37 with the dam down. Kentucky shore. This is the steamer Sprague. It was taken to Pittsburgh for the bicentennial and now being returned to Vicksburg, where it was a museum. But since it has burned and is no longer in existence. This is a view in the pilot house. That is Jacksburg waiting with my father. This is the Delta Queen on one of its excursion trips when the water was high. At this time it was owned by Green Line Company. This is a picture looking across the river to where they're cleaning out one of the bear traps. The bear traps fill up with mud over a period of time and have to be cleaned out periodically. Otherwise, they will not go all the way down. They cut a hole in the lower leaf put a suction hose in there and then pump out the mud with a steam pump. A diver goes down with a jet hose and works the mud loose and over to the pump. As you can see, it is a dirty gray stinking mud after laying underneath the trap for a number of years. That's Mark Naylor tending the diver, who is now coming up. He can only stay down a short time, as is quite tiresome with the hose down underneath the trap and fighting the powerful hose. This is cleaning off the esplanade as the water goes down. They have this tractor and run around and keep the water stirred up so the mud will not settle as much as bad. After the water goes down so far, then they have to take esplanade. If it dries, it is hard to come up. Here they're taking out the bulkheads in front of the gates, which is supposed to keep out some of the mud from going back into the recess where the gates are left during high water. There were two of these put in at the front of the recess. These also have to be hosed off as they are quite muddy. These men are lowering back the maneuvering boats, which is lowering the wickets. The wickets are lowered by pulling them back a short distance to take them out of the catch that they are held up in. A wicket consists of a prop and a horse. There is a concrete sill which is all the way across the river. Each wicket has their own slide which the prop slides in. To raise a wicket is pulled back until it goes into a catch which holds it up. It is a whole lot easier to lower the dam than it is to put it up. All they have to do is pull it back, let it go, and the current will take it down and it will lay on the bottom of the river. This is looking at the bear traps. There goes another one down. This is the steam dredge boat St. Genevieve, which also has been decommissioned since these movies were taken. It is a suction dredge. It has a cutter head in front which swings back and forth, cutting the mud up, which goes back into a large pump, which pumps it, pulls it out of the river, and puts it across through that pipeline on the other side of the river. This is done whenever silt forms in the channel. There you can see it being pumped on the Kentucky shore. This is getting close to the dredge. There's a closer up look of the pipeline from the dredge to the shore. The Genevieve is now through and is proceeding up the river with its pipe to the next low spot, high spot in the river, which will have to be cut away. Panoramic view of the Kentucky shore. There's a picture of the maneuvering boat, which is used to raise and lower the wickets and other work around the dam. toe locking down or going out of the locks. This is a coal tow by the Ohio River Company. This is the Omar, one of the more famous boats of the Cincinnati area. This is a old Navy boat which somebody bought, is now using it to tow new cars to Memphis, Tennessee. This process is no longer in use. That is one of Ashland's tows with a 15 barge tow. This is the steamer Monongahela, one of the last steam towboats to tow steel from Pittsburgh to New Orleans. That is my Uncle George, who is engineer on a Monongahela, walking across there. Monongahela was originally built for Carnegie Steel. It had a sister ship, the Allegheny, which is no longer in existence. The Monongahela is putting the tow out, as you can see here. Now it is proceeding on down the river to New Orleans. This was its last trip. Have one wicket out and are putting a repaired one back in. The diver has to go down after the wicket is on the bottom and put the keepers in. This is another Ohio River Company towboat with coal for Miami Port. This is the Charles Durance, which was originally the John W. Hubbard and is now the restaurant Mike Fink on the Covington shores. It is a sister ship to the Omar. This is a diesel-powered Union barge line tow bound for Pittsburgh. There's another boat waiting to be locked through. The towboat coming up here is a Herbert E. Jones. It is the last steam towboat built. Originally it was built for a Union barge line with the name Jason. It has empty coal barges. This is a Union barge line boat with a double lockage. The first cut is in, the second with the towboat is back there. This is the Majestic showboat. At this time it was going up and down the river giving shows to cities like Madison, Beebe, different up and down the river. That is the lower gate going back into recess. This is the Avalon. Originally, it was built as the Idlewild and is now the Belle of Louisville. It was making day excursions up and down the river out of different cities. Right now it was going out of Cincinnati. This is the panoramic view of Lock 37 from the Kentucky side, looking at the buildings, powerhouse, residence, office. There was 4 dwellings. Martin Ayler is listening with a spike pole for when the prop sets in its catch. It is then caught and flipped up. There they caught another and flipping it up. There they have to go down and catch the wicket and then pull it up. The diver is going down to inspect the gate tracks to see that there's nothing on them or that none of them, either one of them, have worn. Jack Sprague is tending the diver. That is my mother and Suzanne. The diver's coming up from inspecting the upper gate. That's Martin Ayler. They're just out starting to put the dam up. They have to go down and catch a hook into that little thing on top of the wicket. And then pull it. He's listening until he can hear it hit the slot. When the dam is first being put up, you do not have to flip them, as the current will flip the wicket itself. That's Tom Piggs regulating how far the boat will let the boat go out. He's motioning to the operator how much he wants him to pull it. There comes the wicket. Just go down that hook there and catch. Another panoramic view of the lock. That's the warehouse, the office, the powerhouse, and the 4 dwellings. The one right there is the one that I lived in. Another wicket. As you can see, it is very uneven when they first start. That is due to the fact that mud is in the slides and does not let the wicket set properly. Until the current washes them out, then they will all straighten out in an even row. This is the towboat Omar, a sister ship to the Charles Durrance. Durrance and Arco were originally built by Camel Towing Corporation. This is one of Ashland's boats with crude oil tow. This is the Arco with empties going up the river. This is the Orleanian, owned by the Ohio Barge Line. That is my Uncle George up there waving. The Orleanian was built by the government during the war. All of them were named for famous battles and later bought by companies which renamed them to suit themselves. This is the Valvoline, owned by Ashland Oil and Refining Company. At the time I was striker on here, we run between Ashland and New Orleans. It took us approximately 10 days to take a tow of 3 barges from another DPC. This is the Delta Queen, which is making its Saturday run. The Delta Queen used to leave Saturday, go to Kentucky Lake, and return the following Friday. It did this for a long while until business dropped off, and then they had to cancel. There the diver is coming up. He has just got through taking one of the keepers out so that they can pull the wicket out, put it on the barge over there, repair it, and then we'll replace it. In a few minutes you will see the wicket being lifted out. There it comes. The box is in the back to keep water from going through so they can replace the wicket. There you can see the prop with as soon as they get it laid on the bottom, the diver will go down and guide it, finish guiding it into the slots, and then the keeper will be put in. The Delta Queen on another of its Saturday cruises. Scene with snow on the Kentucky hills. That's in front of the powerhouse with snow on the trees, looking down towards the end of the street, towards where the dwellings are. That's the powerhouse first, then the office, and then the dwellings are down there. That's the garage where the residents, employees keep their automobiles. That is our house where I lived. The river is up a little bit and has a light film of ice on it. That is Charlie Kottmeyer. That means the river is 50 foot rising, and the pass, that's St. Genevieve going back up the river for another job. This is another Union barge line, towboat.